We're doing a series on young entrepreneurs, and today we have Enactus Hansraj with us, and we will be knowing what they are doing. And my first question to them is, what is Enactus?
Enactus is an international student-run organization which runs on the mission of social entrepreneurship. So here we create business models to solve the social problems that are existing in our society.
Adding to what she just said, broken down very simply, what Enactus does is it lies in the intersection of social and economic upliftment of people in the society.
But what does the word Enactus really mean? Where does it come from?
Enactus is the amalgamation of entrepreneurial, action and us. From entrepreneurial we get the word N, act from action, and us.
How does Enactus work? Does each college have separate programs they run specific to their college, or is it more overall globally the same but handled differently by each college?
Essentially, it is an internationally recognized organization. It is present in 35 countries, and how it works is it is present in college campuses all over the globe. So we are from the Hansraj chapter of Enactus. Different colleges have different Enactus chapters, and how it works is each college undertakes different projects that work on different social issues. So currently we have 3 projects running. Project Ehsas, that works for digital literacy among the underprivileged children. We have Project Arman, that aims to break the stigma around de-addiction. And we have Project Vriddhi, that relates to curbing stubble burning.
What inspires you to be in Enactus?
Essentially, ever since I was in school, so I knew that I am a part of the privileged section of the society, and there is a large chunk of the society that doesn't even have the basic necessities of life. And even when I was in school, I always wanted to do something to sort of bridge that gap. And when I joined college and I got to know about Enactus, so essentially the willingness in me was there, but the platform wasn't present till school. But in college, getting to know about Enactus and the possibility of the impact that we can create, and that is what drove me to join Enactus, so that realizing my privilege, I can help the society to bridge that gap and work for the society.
Yeah, so I think the main reason for me to join Enactus was the main purpose behind Enactus. It's social entrepreneurship. So it's not just social work. You're not doing charity. You're not donating money. You're basically creating employment opportunities for the underprivileged by their own actions. So you're basically making them self-sufficient, which I think is the need of the hour, and I think that was my main reason behind joining Enactus.
I'm associated with Project Ehsas, and this was the project that really inspired me to join Enactus. So the idea behind the project was we had identified a community of visually impaired individuals who were really good at teaching computers. But due to the stigma around them, that because they cannot see, they cannot work on computers, they were unable to get jobs. And on the other hand, we identified that there are underprivileged students or kids who do not get access to digital literacy. So we thought of combining both these ideas. That is what gave birth to Project Ehsas.
Currently in Enactus Hansraj, I'm serving as the project director for Arman. So we have partnered with multiple de-addiction centers, and we're providing them employment, income earning opportunities by designing a product with them that can be sold in the market. Currently we're working on tire-made furniture. Chairs, tables, all of that made from tires, because otherwise scrap tires are burnt, which adds to a lot of pollution. So it is solving a social as well as an environmental issue at the same time. That was the objective behind selecting that product. And because COVID struck this year and we had to move digital, that's when we thought of coming up with an online portal. So now we have also worked on creating an online portal that has all resources accumulated in one place related to de-addiction. We aim to provide a comprehensive solution to this problem through that.
Sahil, how do you plan your projects and the financial aspect of it?
The first and foremost thing that we have to have is the impact, and which is bifurcated into 3 parts essentially, which is the environmental impact and the social impact and the economic impact. But if it doesn't have an economic impact, it can't be sustainable, because we have to provide a source of living and make our community independent. This is how our team works. We divide the work. We go on the internet, research on the prevalent issues that are going on in our society, and through innovative products or services, we try to solve those issues and then connect them with the community that needs upliftment. And through the whole full functional model, it creates the three impacts that I talked about.
Sahil, you mentioned that you have about 20 students in the research and development department, right? How many students would you have overall in Hansraj Enactus?
So we're a team of around 70 dedicated kids, and each kid has one project and one department. So that makes it around 20 to 25 kids per project and about 30 kids per department. So we've got two departments in Enactus Hansraj. So one is the research and development, which Sahil just talked about, and the other part of it is the media and communication. So which is basically responsible for generating the funds, for marketing Enactus Hansraj and other responsibilities that come along.
What are the challenges you face while doing a project?
So, being a student-run organization, the first and foremost problem, of course, arises in the funding of our projects. Since we can't, raise revenue on our own, we have to look for sources like CSRs, fundraising initiatives that we launch, and also the products we sell in our projects. So that is one area of challenge. And the other one, of course, is while we have to convince communities to get on board. So mobilization also poses a challenge to some extent, convincing them that this is something for their own benefit. So in Project Vriddhi, currently we're working with 3 target communities. We have 3 verticals in Project Vriddhi. So in the first one, we're working with farmers. We convinced them to not burn stubble and instead use it in the production of mushrooms. In the second vertical of Project Vriddhi, we convinced women to get on board with us as entrepreneurs and utilize stubble sheets into making handicrafts that are sold in the market. And in the third vertical, we found out that there was a problem of open defecation in slums of Ghaziabad. So we had a lot of community penetration and mobilization sessions, and we have now installed a washroom there. The vertical is called Nirman. Breaking the stigma is a huge problem, and it is a very big part of the process.
There were a lot of myths going on that, mushroom is non-vegetarian. So, the farmers weren't ready to cultivate mushrooms in their farmlands. We ourselves went to these farmlands and did these sessions to, clear their myths and solve their doubts to, start cultivating mushroom.
So as you were talking about the challenges you faced, so any stories you have to share with us, with our viewers?
So we visited the railway station, which is like the home to child addicts. So we presented a short play on health and sanitation, and there were a lot of jingles involved in that. So the kids were really enjoying it, and after that we had a follow-up session, and they were very eagerly answering कि हमें अब नहाना चाहिए, हमें इस टाइम पे ये करना चाहिए. Then we conducted another session on Children's Day at another rehab center. So therein also we conducted various art and craft sessions, jamming sessions. So through these ice-breaking sessions, we try to understand the community, their situation, and then we figure out how Enactus as an organization can come in and solve these problems.
So जब हमने 2 verticals already बना लिए थे, तब्दील and शिल्पकारी, I think we realized that one thing was still missing, which was common in both our communities, and that was something as basic as a washroom facility. So जब हम इन community mobilization sessions पे गए, so we would see कि all these women would go, to far off distances just to, find a spot there. So washroom is something which must be made available to everyone. I mean, that is more of a fundamental right. So that is where हमने सोचा कि we could, probably use our wonder element again and probably make washrooms out of them. So that is how Nirman came up.
Few challenges that we faced in Ehsaas was to convince the community. So to convince the parents of the underprivileged kids, letting them know the importance of digital literacy was a huge task, because they felt that spending money on digital literacy might not be worth it. Secondly, convincing the schools to employ a visually impaired teacher. We had to make them aware of their skills and let them know that they are equally skilled and efficient to do that work. So that was a huge task for us to do. But then eventually when we had a center established in Dilshad Garden, and seeing the kids get their first certificates after completing the course, and the visually impaired teacher get her first salary, it was an extremely amazing experience for us.
The community development sessions that we were doing, we met a woman named Jaya. The problem that she was facing was that she told us that she's restricted to household chores, and earlier she was dependent on her father before marriage, and now after marriage she's dependent on her husband. And this problem was coupled with another problem of the disappearing Indian handicraft industry, which is home to around 60 lakh plus artisans in India. So we again used our wonder element stubble, and we did some research, did some R&D, and we found out that this stubble can be converted into pulp, and these can be converted into stubble sheets that can be used to make marketable handicrafts. Through this venture, Jaya, who was before dependent on the men in her family, is now earning a handsome amount per year, and now she's financially independent, she's self-sustainable.
As the whole world faced the pandemic, so how Hansraj was working at that time of pandemic?
It's obvious that in the pandemic we could not go for on-the-ground visits, we could not visit our community, and that's why we diverted our energy more towards research and development in our projects. Apart from that, we organized events at Enactus Hansraj like the Sociocast, which was essentially a podcast series where we had different experts on board that broke down the effect of COVID on various industries like real estate, CSR, education and other sectors. So we had this podcast series available on YouTube, Spotify, Google Podcast, Apple Music, everywhere, and we had about 1,000 plus listeners. Other than that, talking about our one project, as I mentioned in Arman, when we saw that the trends that everything was moving digital, we also went towards creating an online portal. And because it was not advisable for these addicts also to stay in close proximity at de-addiction centers, it became that one area which had all the resources related to de-addiction. So that also helped. Other than that, we organized a fundraiser for the relief of daily wage workers during the lockdown, and we raised a good amount for them and distributed among them. Very recently, we organized a animal welfare initiative wherein a lot of our members went out for visits, and we provided clothes and shelters for these stray dogs. So these are some of the measures we've taken during the pandemic.
How do you see the future of Enactus in India?
So Enactus as a global organization is, as I said, is present in 35 countries. It's present in 1800 college campuses. Enactus in general has partnered with 50 corporate organizations, which includes very reputed names like Walmart and KPMG. So these partnerships, and the main motto of Enactus is to create these synergies, to foster these relationships. So I think that creates a whole network of like-minded people who want to bring about a change in the society. And talking about India, as I said, it's a new concept, social entrepreneurship. People are not generally aware of it. But I think slowly and steady there is change happening and people are getting aware about it. And I can speak for at least the DU circuit, it has become a very popular concept, and people are really, taking part in social entrepreneurship. And I think if we keep undertaking these projects and keep expanding our reach, then it's sure to, reach more and more people.
Medha, you spoke about bringing about a change in the society, and I come across a lot of young adults who get very frustrated with the way things are going on in the society and want to make a change but keep feeling inadequate कि हम एक youth क्या कर लेगा, what will one person do? What would you say to such a young adult who wants to make a change and yet feels frustrated? Is there any message that you would like to give?
So I do believe there comes a moment of doubt when you think you're too small to create an impact. I think that is the moment when you have to believe in yourself. You have to stay determined to the cause, and then probably work on yourself, work on the issues, and you have to keep the belief because boon boon se sagar bharta hai.
So as I talked in the beginning, how I wanted to make a change even in school, but I didn't have the platform, and Enactus provided me with that platform. And the people who think that they are too small to make a difference, it's actually that is when you lose the fight. I mean, if you're thinking you can't do anything, then you obviously will not do anything. So it's, the first and foremost thing is to, believe in yourself that you can make a difference.
So earlier even I had this mentality कि मेरे अकेले के करने से ही क्या हो जाएगा. But when I was introduced to the concept of Enactus, I realized that there is so much for you to do. There are so many problems in the world and there is so much for you to do. At Enactus, there are so many times when we are also directionless. Our models, our plans also don't work. But that is what Enactus is all about, finding alternative solutions, brainstorming, and the key is to be consistent. And ultimately, you will create an impact.
My one valuable takeaway from the Enactus experience has been that impacts can be of two types: wider impact or deeper impact. Impact 200 people on the surface level, or you can impact 3 people and transform their lives completely. The catch is to focus on how you're impacting and not on the numbers and figures. So I think that's what my Enactus learning has been.